Well, Sean Carroll of HoustonCrepes.com. And I can't believe it that you were like an art history major, and all of a sudden you want to make crepes, and you don't even open a restaurant, you just open a stand on the street, and you become the top 10 restaurants in Houston. Man, is every restaurateur just pissed at you for going to these fancy cooking schools and all this kind of stuff, and now have to compete with you selling stuff off the street that's better than they could do?
I love it. There's top 10 restaurants in the city, 9 fancy restaurants, and 1 guy with no walls.
And that's just wonderful. I mean, that's why, to me, it really epitomizes what this country is really still all about. I mean, it's not about credentials. It's not about, getting the degrees and having the right, whatever the holy water blessed in you. It's about doing something and teaching yourself how to do it, isn't it?
I learned how to make crepes watching videos on YouTube. I sure enjoy eating them in Paris, but I didn't learn how to make them over there.
Yeah, so in other words, you just taught yourself. It took a couple months, 6 months to get this idea together, and you just like got a hot dog stand, but it's a crepe stand in the middle of Houston, right?
Not the place where you would expect it. The best crepes west of the ponds.
Yeah, that's amazing. And to be in the top 10 restaurant, and actually you were like number 2 or number 3 on the list, right?
That's giving me a little bit too much credit. No,
really?
Number 10, but that's good enough.
Hey, man, I remember when I first made the New York Times bestseller list, I was 15, out of 15, that's what I made that sucker, man. I flunked English in college, but I made that list.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's amazing. I mean, all these high-powered French restaurants must be really ticked at you, huh?
I can't help them. It's more about service than it is about anything else.
Really?
The Eatsy boys down here has convinced me of that, and I didn't want to agree with them. I said, no, it's all about the food. But no, 51% is service, 49% is the food. It changes how food tastes.
Now, when you said the Eatsy boys, is that a local something or other?
Yeah, they started off as a food truck. They came and saw me. They started right after I did with kind of the food truck movement in the first wave. Now they've moved into a restaurant. They've also started Eighth Wonder Brewery. So they're getting out there on their empire.
I see. That's wonderful. But so now, though, you want to be working more than 3 days a week or 5 days or whatever the heck it is, and get your own walls and have a place that people sit down and really grow out of there, so you have more little trucks maybe all over the city or stands, and you're raising money on Kickstarter, and man, you're almost halfway there already, and it's fantastic. And if you go to your website, HoustonCrepes.com, and then what kind of favors do you have for people who are supporting you?
We have all sorts of great crepe packs for people who live in Houston. We also have kind of artist things. We have a great T-shirt designed by a cartoonist, Jason Poland. We have a little comic book that I'm going to make as well. If anybody wants a calendar to see kind of what's in season in Houston and how it's different from the Northeast and the West Coast, we have those on there, as well as great packages for catering and well, if you go all the way to the top, I do offer to have a Dallas Cowboys tattoo, even though that's just mainly there to show dedication.
Wow, I mean, you're going to get a Dallas Cowboys tattoo, and you're a big Buffalo Bills fan, and you're going to do that? Are you going to tell your hometown folks about this or not?
I hope they don't catch wind, but we'll see.
Well, I just got my first tattoo last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My son and I got it for my 70th birthday. He got me that thing. And I always wanted, and see, I figure at 70, I used to worry about tattoos growing up. God, what are they going to look like in 30 years? I don't give a shit now, my age. So now is the time to get them. So you can always use another tattoo. That's good. So you're going to get a Dallas Cowboys tattoo. Well, that's going to be a hometown guy now. You're going to have to, they're probably going to change your key to the city in Buffalo. But. Well, do you think crepes would work in Buffalo?
I think crepes would be a tougher sell in Buffalo. It's definitely a working class city, and I really respect everything that's going on there. But the internationalism of Houston is really a boon to me. The neighborhood Montrose has a lot of French, Italian, Dutch, and English and Scottish who live there, as well as kind of the Venezuelan, Colombian, and Argentinian people who know what a crepe is. If I leave the loop, I got to tell people I'm making pancake tacos. They still taste good.
But also, I mean, if you're in Buffalo, you're only open three months a year too.
Yeah, I'd be out there in the snow, just like just like the tamale guys in Chicago, just like the crepe stands in Paris. You gotta keep hustling.
Yeah, keep to. Well, we have a crepe here in Bethesda, and they're terrific, and that's why. But yours, I mean, nobody I know of ever made a top 10 restaurant, and I follow the restaurant critics a lot. So I mean, that is just the most special thing I think has ever happened to almost like a hot dog stand, but a crepe stand to be a top 10 restaurant. I mean, that must feel great.
It really does. And Allison Cook, the first time she came, she sat next to the stand and said, "Oh no, you go," and she just watched people talking and hanging out for
really?
Half an hour before she even ordered anything. And she bears a passing resemblance to one of the neighbors around there. So I thought maybe it's this lady's sister, and I was really nice to her. But I had no idea that she was sneaking pictures with her phone the whole time.
Oh, and that's the restaurant critic for Houston? Is that the Houston
Allison
restaurant?
Cook, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. I used to know the restaurant critic here for the Washington Post, and we used to go out and eat, and nobody knew who she was and things like that. And yeah, they're very popular people and powerful people. I mean, they can make or break anybody. It seems.
It's all about the regulars. So whether it's the critics or not, it's who keeps coming back, know. And so that's my favorite part. And when we were filming the Kickstarter video, the guy did an entire interview to like 20 minutes or so, and then goes and looks at the camera and says, we didn't film any of that.
That was your best stuff. That's what I hate. The first time is usually my best. I hate rehearsing and everything because I'm not that good of an actor to rehearse here. Okay. So you're saying people come from how far to visit your stand?
The farthest one of our regulars ever came was coming from Austin, and he'd come
Austin, Texas, man.
He'd come from every weekend to woo a girl who lived around the corner. But we get regulars who come from Missouri City, from Katy, from the Memorial area, from Pearland, and they all drive 15, 20 minutes to come see us at the straight stand and hang out and wait for a crepe, which is an awesome amount of dedication that I really appreciate.
God, not only that, I mean, like from Austin, they're spending $50 on gas to get a $5 crepe, it's just incredible. But it really shows, I think, how, we don't need these big mass market stuff anymore. It's just not worth it, and there's no soul to it, and nobody cares what you go into a store that with mass market, and nobody cares even what they're doing.
Got to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's bringing a 19th century job into the 21st century.
Right.
You can use the social media. You can really start off on your own from very little, and as long as you really believe in your products, you can get somewhere.
But you're providing, you're really giving you, and that's what people are coming from you because it's special, nowhere else. And as you're saying, 50% of your success is in dealing with the people, not making the food, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why they're there, is for you, and so you could build everything, and nobody can steal that. So if somebody starts up another crepe, it's never going to be Sean's crepe. It's going to be somebody else trying to copy it, and they won't do it right. And so like question mark suit, you could anybody else could wear a question mark suit. I don't care.
That's why I gotta find someone who can have the same energy, can do the front of the house and the back of the house at the same time in order to keep a restaurant running at all hours of the day. But hey, if I can stand over your shoulder and yell at you long enough, I can teach you how to do it.
So that's what you're doing now. It's fundraising to be able to do that. And you're on Kickstarter. You're looking for 50 grand. You're almost halfway there. So you're going to make this happen. And you got goodies to give, people to help you with this investment. And what are some of the goodies that you're giving out?
We have great crepe packs for people who live in Houston to come by either at the street stand or in the restaurant for 2 or 5 or 10 of them. We have a great T-shirt designed by a cartoonist, Jason Poland, as well as cartoon comic book that I'm drawing myself, and a calendar designed by my brother that's going to be all the different things to get in Houston, you know, the produce that's available at different times of year and how different it is from the Northeast, from the West Coast. Just kind of really close, you know, to learn how to eat in Houston in the right season.
Well, you're finally putting the art degrees to work, aren't you?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Showing your parents, it's not going to waste. Yeah. But it's wonderful. I mean, I even saw the video. I thought what you did was a wonderful video. I mean, it was very special. And again, you're showing your heart in there. And, if you went out and did something, big Hollywood, production company, you would lose you, and then you're not getting you, and you're the best part of what you got.
My friend Lee helped me film that, and he worked in LA on reality shows for a while.
Wow.
He knew exactly what questions to ask and how to push me a little bit to get it to come out just right.
I see. And he was like me, that he forgot to turn on the recording position for a while. People don't know. We had to stop and start because I forgot to turn something on. But it's great. I mean, HoustonCrepes.com. Sean, I think this is a wonderful idea. I mean, taking your passion, you have a young daughter now too, and you and your wife are devoting yourself to living a life that's special and contributing to your society where you live, and that's what seems what you want to do, is include more of your neighborhood and society in your success, and that means the success of your community. And you're sharing your heart and your talent and your soul and your food too, which probably people want the most of.
Our street stand is closing at the end of March, and so we've got to do something, but we want to move as little as possible. We know where people know where to find us.
I understand. Well, wonderful. So the HoustonCrepes.com, you go there, help you soon, help you now, help you forever, and get a crepe, whether in Houston or whenever you get there, it's a 10 best restaurant in Houston, a little crepe stand. Wow, that's terrific.
Thank you.
Take care.